Hi, this is Collector Brick Chicago here. Welcome to Bearbrick 101. If you've ever flipped over 100% Bearbrick and stared at the bottom of the foot wondering, is this a serial number, a secret code, or do more apostrophes really mean it's more valuable? You're definitely not alone. In our hobby, we use serial numbers to identify the unique data points of the Bearbrick. In this video, I'm breaking down what these markings actually mean, what they don't mean, and how to read the bottom of the Bearbrick without getting tricked into a bad information online. So the basics, there have been a little over 1,400 100% Bearbricks released across all the blind box series since 2001, and every single one of them has a unique serial number somewhere on the body. Series 1 through Series 10, the serial number is typically written on the back of the body. Series 11 onwards, it moved to the leg, usually the bottom of the foot or somewhere inside the leg. Every series contains standard Bearbricks such as basics, jelly beans, and patterns. There are variants as well as secrets. For the standard figures, there's a logical sequence to the serial numbers based on the last digit. When the last digit number is 1, it's a basic, 2, jelly bean, 3, pattern, 4, flag, 5 is horror, 6, science fiction, 7, cute, 8, animal, and 9, artist. So it doesn't matter whether you're holding a Series 1 figure or Series 52 that just dropped a few weeks ago. Just by looking at the last digit, you'll know right away whether you've got a cute or an animal in your hand. So now here's where it gets a little messy, and honestly it's a mistake Medicom Toy made early on. Since every type shares the same ending digit across every series, they needed a way to separate a Series 3 pattern from Series 12 pattern. The fix was supposed to be a prefix number matching the series, but in Series 1 through Series 10, the prefix system doesn't line up cleanly yet. It's inconsistent enough that you can't just read the prefix and trust it. So for these early series, don't rely on the numbers at all. Look at the last line of text stamped on the body instead. Medicom Toy actually spells it out right there for you, literally printing Series 4 or Series 5. That's your source of truth for Series 1 through Series 10. Starting with Series 11, Medicom Toy definitely cleaned this up. The serial numbers moved to the foot or the leg, and this time they added the correct series prefix and no guesswork was required anymore. So Series 11 figures would start with prefix 011, Series 23 would start with prefix 023, and onwards. There's always a 0 before the prefix, which tells me Medicom Toy is planning on running this format all the way to Series 999. Well, at that rate, none of us will be around to see it. But that's the easy takeaway. Series 11 onward, just read the prefix. So now let's talk about the apostrophes, because this is where most of the misinformation happens. We got the first variant right from the beginning in Series 1. A variant is a figure that shares a design connection to one of the standard types, but has a different colorway or design twist. A secret is something entirely different. A figure that doesn't tie back to the standard type, and the pull rates define their tiers. A secret is 1 out of 4 cases, or sometimes you'll find the secret in every case. A super secret is very rare. It's usually 1 in 8 cases. The apostrophe, some collectors call it a comma, shows up to mark the. Series 3 is a good example. The standard cute bomb ended with the digit 7 to signify a related but a distinct variant. Medicom Toy just added an apostrophe. This naming convention is actually pretty common in Asian businesses and product numbering. I've seen the same system used at a Korean electronics company store I work for. When something's a variation of an existing item, you just simply add a mark similar to a dash. Here's the misconception I really want to clear up. More apostrophes does not mean more valuable or more rare. Some series contain multiple secrets, and when that happens, people sometimes start making assumptions. They'll say things like, this one has more apostrophes, so it must be rarer. This one might be worth more. This one must be a super secret because the code looks crazier. But that's not a reliable way to judge a Bearbrick. Apostrophes are much better understood as a sequential naming convention than as a ranking system for value or rarity. So let's take Series 25, where we had 4 super secrets without any secrets. Lunar Force 1 had no serial numbers. Devilman had 1 apostrophe, followed by Klaus Hepaniemi with 2 apostrophes, and finally the G-Shock Man with 3 apostrophes. Here's the typical market price trend here in the United States for these secrets, and you can see if we rank the apostrophes by the value, the order is incorrect. The order would be instead G-Shock, Klaus, Lunar Force 1, and finally the Devilman. Another example is, let's take Series 45. Medicom Toy went a little wild and gave us 8 secrets total. 4 from Carton A and another 4 from Carton B. In Carton A, we had HXS, the orange colorway, Baby Milo, Brandon Holt, and Nujabes. Part B, we had HXS, the Yellow Edition, Mastermind, and once again, the Brandon Holt and Nujabes. Some of the cases outside of Japan also carried a hidden Daniel Arsham secret that was not included, and this actually caused its own controversy at the time. So if you stack these 7 distinct secrets by the pull rate, whether it's a 1 out of 96 cases or 1 out of 192 cases, the number of apostrophes doesn't line up with the rarity at all. The Mastermind Super Secret is a 1 out of 192 pull, and based on the recent eBay sold prices, it's worth significantly more than Brandon Holt and Nujabes, even though those two have more apostrophes stacked on. So if you're trying to use apostrophes as a pricing guide, we really get in trouble. The apostrophes are not a price charge, they're not the rarity meter, they're simply part of how the secret or the variant entries were sequenced and labels, and that's it. Hopefully this helps you understand how to decipher Bearbrick serial numbers and what these apostrophes actually mean and don't mean. If you got questions or feel strongly about something I covered here, drop a comment below. Well, that's it for this episode of Bearbrick 101. See you on the next one. Bye.